All right, good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well today. So, we are going to start into Chapter 4, Section 1. It's Chapter 4, Section 1 is a continuation of what we were discussing in the last Chapter 3, Section 3, in that it's going to show you how to apply the concept of slope. So, last chapter and section, we studied a good bit on how to calculate slope, whether it be from a graph or a table or two ordered pairs, or even if they just give you an equation. So I'm going to show you exactly how to use an equation to find the slope and then how to graph that. So a linear equation is written in the following form. And this form right here is called y equals, not called, it's y equals mx plus b. This is called slope-intercept form. Very important. You'll use this in the rest of your math classes throughout your high school math career and possibly even in some college level math classes if you choose to go to college. So this is called slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form. And in here, m is the slope. And b is called the y-intercept. Okay, now it's really important to remember those two variables, the m and the b, because the m and the b are the two variables that you will be filling numbers in for. So the first example I'm going to show you is how to write an equation in slope-intercept form when they give you the slope and the y-intercept. So this is really simple. The slope, as we set up here, the slope is the m variable, that's m, and the y-intercept is your b variable. And so from there, you simply take y equals mx plus b, and you put in numbers. So I have y equals negative 1/2 goes in for m. The x stays the x, you don't put anything in for that. And then the b becomes positive 3. And there is your slope-intercept form of the equation. It's very simple. The next four are the exact same. You always want to label, if you notice for slope, I'm going to label that as m. Then I'm going to label this one as b because the slope is the m and the y-intercept is the b. So it's y equals negative 3, and then we have x, and then minus 8. So all you are doing is y equals mx plus b. You can see that I filled in negative 3 for m, and I filled in negative 8 for b. And so then the final answer is this right here, y equals negative 3x minus 8. So once again, y equals mx plus b. This is my m, and that's my b. So we substitute those two in, 2x plus 4. There's slope-intercept form of an equation. Slope is m, y-intercept is b, y equals mx plus b, and 3/4 goes in for m, and negative 1 goes in for b. And there's slope-intercept form. A common mistake that I'll see people make or students will make is they'll forget to put the x right there. Make sure you put your x after your slope. That's important. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to graph an equation in slope-intercept form. And it's really quite simple. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to write your equation. So we have y equals mx plus b. And we're going to put this in for m and this in for b. So I have y equals negative 1/2 x plus 3. Okay, so there's my slope-intercept form of the equation. Now to graph that, it's always, 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 you start with the y-intercept. And this is what I tell students. This B right here stands for beginning. It really doesn't, but that's what I'm going to tell you it does. So you know that we start with that number. And remember, that is called the y-intercept. Y-intercept. Because this number right there is where our graph crosses the y-axis. So in this case, the y-intercept is 3. So we start at the origin and we count up 3 and we put a dot right on the y-axis at 3. Makes it really easy. And now the slope is m. And we have to count that slope. Now remember, slope is rise over run. Rise means how far up or down. Run means how far right or left. So in order to graph this slope, it's -1/2. So from the red dot that we made, we are going to go down 1 and then over 2. And that lands us right there. And you can see that I put another big red dot. So we start with the beginning point, which is the y-intercept of 3, and then we count our slope down and then to the right. And when I do that, I end up with a second point. And then from there, if you want to count the slope again, you can. I'm going to go down 1/2 again. I'm going to put a dot. And you can see how those big red dots are lining up. I'm going to draw my line straight right through there. And I'm going to see if I can do a little bit better than that. Go like this. And there we go. There's our line. Just like that. Okay, let's try another one. So we're going to write our equation, y equals mx plus b. I'm going to fill in my amounts that we have here. So y equals -3x minus 8. And so we're going to start with the b. Remember, b we're going to say stands for beginning, and that is on the y-axis. You need to go down 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. So that puts us right there. So we went down 8, and we put a big red dot. Now from there, we're going to count our slope. But notice our slope is only -3. If it's a whole number, you put it over 1. Always, because you need to have the two numbers. You need the rise and the run. In this case, the rise is -3. So from that dot, we're going to go down 3 more. 1, 2, 3. And then the run, we're going to go over 1. And we're going to put a dot right there. And now you can see we've got two lines that we can draw our line straight. And I kind of goofed that up a little bit. That looks a little better. Draw our line just like that. And we've got our graph of our line again. Okay, we're going to do 2 more. So once again, here's my y equals mx plus b. You can see my slope is 2. So I have y equals 2x plus 4. We always start with the b, the beginning. So in this case, it's 4. So on the y-axis, you're going to go to 4. So start at the origin and count up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And put your dot right there. Now from there, the slope is 2. Remember, if it's a whole number, we've got to put it over 1. So we have 2 numbers for the slope. And so the slope is rise over run. So up 2 over 1. Up 2 over 1. I'm going to do that again. Up 2 over 1. And you can do that as many times as you want. And what you'll see is the points where you land, they line up. They should line up into a straight line. And you can see right there, that gives me a line. And there's the graph of y equals 2x plus 4. Okay, the last one we're going to do is going to be the same. We're going to write our equation, y equals mx plus b. And then I have my m and I have my b. So I'm going to fill that in. Y equals 3/4 x minus 1. We are going to start with the beginning point again, which is -1. So we start at the origin, and then we always go up or down on the y-axis for your y-intercept. In this case, it's -1, so we put a dot right there at -1. And from there, our slope is 3/4. So it means up 3 and then over 4. So you'll see me count from that point, 1, 2, 3, and then over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll put a big dot right there. And then from there, it's just a matter of drawing our line. And that's it. There's our line of y equals 3/4 x minus 1. So hopefully that made sense. This is a little bit tricky. You'll catch on. But if you have any questions that I didn't answer in the video, feel free to reach out and either ask during our live meet or you can email me. Have a great day.